Riley, you all set. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call this November meeting of the Outreach and Engagement Committee to order. It is 9:02 a.m. Stephanie, would you please take attendance?
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Ava Bermuda Zimmerman,
Present.
Isha Canada, I don't believe has joined us yet. Adrian Cochran,
Present.
Sheila Hummel,
Present. Good morning.
good morning. Molly Weston Williamson,
Present.
and Justin will not be joining us this morning, but we do have a quorum.
Thank you, Stephanie. I want to take a minute to acknowledge that we often have members of the public who join us on this meeting, and so we're glad to have you if you're here now or if you're watching this later on in the recording. We're happy to have you. Our first item of business is to review and approve the September minutes. So I'd like to ask for a call to approve. Is there a motion to approve the September minutes?
Motion to approve the September minutes.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Ava. Any discussion of approving the September minutes? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Adrian Cochran abstains.
Thank you, Adrian. The motion carries. And we will move on to our outreach and engagement updates. So I'm going to throw it over to Jessica to kick us off.
Thank you, Molly. Okay.
We can see your screen, Jess.
Thank you. All right, so I wanted to start off with
sorry.
just
We're seeing your
the notes.
screen. Yeah.
It always happens. I'm not sure why. I need to figure out how to rearrange my screens. Let me try this. Is that better?
Just going to slideshow. There you go. Perfect.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. So since the last time we met was prior to our Family Expo, I just wanted to start with a recap. So you can see on this slide, this was a social media post we did afterwards just to highlight our exhibitors who came out. Nicole made the paid leave picture frame, which added a lot of fun for both the exhibitors and the families that attended. We thought it was a great success. Some feedback from our exhibitors after in a survey, we asked, what did you like most about the Family Expo and Resource Fair? And I won't read them all verbatim, but I'll let you take a minute to look at it. So overwhelmingly, the feedback was very positive. The exhibitors said that they thought it was well attended, they thought it was well organized, they had a great time connecting with families, and they also had a great time and were appreciative of the opportunity to connect with other organizations and make new connections and find new ways to collaborate, which was definitely one of our goals for this, not just to provide something of value to the community, but also to our partners. All the exhibitors did say that they'd love to be contacted for future events, and almost everyone said that they found new partnership opportunities through the event. These are just a couple of photos. Amber was our photographer for the day. She did a great job. So throughout the day, we had mascots from many of the different area sporting teams come through. We had face painting, we had balloon animals, we had Ben and Jerry's. And we had contracted with Ben & Jerry's to provide 100 ice cream scoops, which we gave out upon completion of what we call the passport card. So essentially, when folks came in, we gave them this card. We asked them to visit all our exhibitors and get, a sign off that they had visited that exhibitor, and then they were able to turn that in for a scoop of ice cream from Ben & Jerry's. So we went through all 100 of those little coupons that we had contracted with Ben & Jerry's to give out. Our goal was to have 100 people in total, including all of our exhibitors, et cetera. So we definitely feel like we met and exceeded that goal. We learned some lessons, some things that we'll use to improve upon future events. But for our first one, we thought that it went really well, and we were very pleased with the feedback we got both from visitors and from our exhibitors. And we actually, which I thought was really neat, we had a couple of pregnant women and their partners who came, who didn't have kids yet, but came specifically to talk with us. They had seen our advertisements and they wanted to get more information about how they could use paid leave when they welcomed their children, and so came specifically to talk about that, which was great. A quick events update. I did share this at our last meeting 2 months ago, so I won't go through it line by line. But what I did add here, because I thought it was just important to highlight, I added that column all the way on the right with the primary audience for the different events. So as you can see, we really have had a good mix of caregivers, employers, younger workers, sort of general population events. We've had a very busy fall and we are excited to kind of round it out. We have one more event coming up the beginning of December, the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities, where Erin will be presenting. Her presentation is about how paid leave is a support for employers in order to recruit and retain great workers. So we're hoping to take that presentation and actually turn it into something that we can present to chambers of commerce, other business organizations, etc. So this will be sort of our pilot presentation of this concept. So we're really looking forward to that. In terms of events moving into the new year, Nicole and Nancy and Virginia as well have been working on an event sort of update and refresh. So we're really taking a look at where we've been and where we have gaps. So both geographically where we have gaps and then with certain audiences. And we'll be very thoughtful, as we always are with our events, but we'll really look to fill in those gaps moving forward as we look at our strategy for the new year, both in terms of where we can actually go ourselves and also where we can use our partnerships with our CECs to cover some of the areas that we have not been able to get to as much as we would like to. So now I'd like to share, and hopefully this will work because now I'm not sure if I'm sharing the right screen, but I wanted to share some new creative with you. So let's just see if this is going to pull up for me. All right, you know what? It's giving me a bit of trouble. So I'm gonna, so as not to make us wait, go through the rest of the presentation. And then I'll see if I can get these ads to come up. In the event that I'm not able to, though, I will share them with the group afterwards. So these are some new videos that we've put together. This top one is actually a compilation of Dr. Schwab, who I played the video for you that she put together in our last meeting. She is a pediatrician in Rocky Hill. And then we also have two other healthcare providers who work with folks in the mental health space. And so these ads are actually compilations of them talking about how paid leave has been a great help for their patients seeking mental health treatment to allow them to really focus on that care and not worry about, missing work or not being able to afford to take that time for care. So we will come back to those hopefully. Some other new creative, this top one is digital. So this is a carousel that will be used for social media. Carrying on with our To Bond, To Care, To Heal theme that we've been using for a while. And these actually feature Dr. Schwab and then Samantha Alzate, who is one of the other healthcare practitioners that participated in this project with us. And then these two down here are some new billboards. So if you haven't seen them yet, hopefully you'll catch them as you're driving around on the highways of Connecticut. We have this one, again, the To Bond, To Care, To Heal, more end user focused. And then for employers, a stronger workforce, a stronger Connecticut. So we're excited about all our new creative. I wanted to give just a final overview of our school outreach. We did quite a lot starting from, Maddie really put everything in place before she went out on her leave, which was a huge help. And then we just sort of executed on that throughout the summer and the beginning part of the fall. So we ended up with 17 webinars that we held over about a 4-month period. We focused on non-certified workers at public schools, workers at non-public elementary and secondary, and then from the employer perspective, we had separate webinars for public school operators and non-public schools. We also did presentations for the Connecticut Association of Superintendents, the Association of Independent Schools, and the Connecticut Association of School Business Officials. We have created some dedicated information on our website, including a FAQ document for schools, and that can be found on our municipalities and schools page. We collaborated quite a bit with the State Department of Education, both to ask for their help in identifying the schools that we needed to reach out to and to get some information from them as far as, what we should do when we were asked questions about positions requiring certification under Chapter 166. We did multiple email outreach. The EdSite list that you see referenced there, that was provided to us by the Department of Education. So that allowed us to make sure that we reached out to all of the public school operators in the state. And we started with sort of a mass email and then monitored who had registered or not registered and followed up with, individual emails to those folks if they still had not registered once that October 1st deadline came around. We also had multiple email outreach with non-public elementary and secondary schools. We did a number of one-on-one meetings as they were requested. And I know he's not on this call, but shout out to Michael because he was always willing to jump in on those calls with me to make sure we were giving, proper information to folks. And then just a recap of our digital campaigns. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Google search and display. We had almost 950,000 impressions total, specifically for non-certified school employee campaigns. And we had really some great results, specifically with Google search. We had almost a 22% click-through rate, which is fantastic. So we did a lot to get the word out, and we continue to, be here as a resource for folks who need some help navigating this process, either as employers or as their employees come to them with application questions. And then lastly, CEC update. So Virginia has been working hard. We had issued our RFP. We are now in the process of completing interviews and finalizing our evaluations. We did receive proposals from 4 potential new CECs. Additionally, and so our goal is to, make offers and execute the contracts in December. All of our current CECs have also indicated that they would like to renew their contracts for 2026. They've provided us with new work plans and budgets, and we're excited to continue our work with them. This year, we will do our training in January, so we'll be condensing it into just 1 month. So we thought that would be better to just kind of keep the information really fresh with folks, and then we'll be doing our in-person sort of role playing and conclusion session on February 6th. And we will require all the CEC employees who are in a public-facing role to participate, as well as any new employees that are current CECs who had not yet been through that training, or of course, who desire a refresher. They're welcome to come as well. So that is my update. Again, as I mentioned, I will work in the background to see if I can get those ads to play, but if I can't for some reason, I will send you the links so that you can take a look at them afterwards.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Jessica before we move on?
I just want to say good metrics. Very impressive. All the outreach that you're doing, that the team's doing too.
Thank you. Yeah, I was really, really pleased and very happy that we had such good engagement on that particular campaign for school employees.
Yeah, it's good.
Anyone else with questions or comments for Jessica? I also just want to flag, the Family Expo is awesome. It sounds like it worked really well. It sounds like we learned a lot about how to do it better in the future. And I think it's a really cool example of the authority staff creating opportunities to share information as opposed to just being responsive to opportunities that come along. And I think it's smart, it's thoughtful, it's creative, it's responsive. It sounds like it really hit its mark with a lot of folks. And I appreciated the addition of the audience to the list of presentations, especially when I think we have all the fun pictures of all of the cute kids at the Family Expo, which is one important part of the outreach. But I think having the sense of the range of we want to get to young families, but we don't want to just get to young families. And so having that holistic sense of this event was targeted toward this population, but the whole range of activities, including the focus on the newly covered school employees, is really great. And I appreciate the additional context.
Thank you.
I would say if we haven't already, we should definitely share those pictures with the full board because they're so cool and there's so many of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put together a little email recap that we can send out.
Yes, thank you. Anything else for Jessica? I see Ava.
I was curious, Jessica, if the selection of the time frame had anything to do with open enrollment being right now, and if it didn't, open enrollment for health insurance, sorry, to be more specific, that people are thinking about things that have applications.
Sorry, Ava, you cut out a little bit, but I think you were saying, did the timing of the event have anything to do with coinciding with open enrollment?
Yes.
You know, I can't say that was a specific consideration for us, but I think it's a good flag and definitely something that we, you know, will take into consideration in the future. We were just kind of trying to work with, you know, when do we think would be a time when our partners would be able to come out and when we wouldn't have a ton of competition, if you will, with other events going on, right? Because we didn't want to sort of cannibalize other opportunities that we might have had. I think those were kind of the main considerations, but thank you for raising that point.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, Ava. I appreciate finding a time slot that is after summer health fair season and back to school season, but before full-on holiday meltdown, which might literally be like a 3-week window. And so I appreciate the team. And also I think it's worth lifting up since we've had folks come in and out. Like this was more than a full year in the making. And so I appreciate all the thought and hard work that went into that, including thinking really carefully about the timing. With that, I will hand it over to Nancy because I believe we have a podcast update too.
Hi there. Yes, we do. I am on Comcast is being a little persnickety, so I am on a hotspot. So I am hoping that I can share.
Why don't you go ahead and turn off your camera just to give it a little better,
I'm
get a better chance.
can you see?
Looks like
Sound is
it's
a
loading.
little slow. It's gonna come.
It's a little slow. I apologize. The internet connection
It
is
says that you're screen
unstable.
sharing, but we don't see it yet.
Let me just see if I can get
Nancy, if
into
you need to just
present
give a
mode.
verbal update and we share the slides after, that's fine too.
Sure, I can do
Here it
that.
comes.
It loaded. It loaded.
It's here.
It load? Okay, phew. Sorry about going to explain to my Comcast people. It may, can you see it in present mode? Is it in present mode?
No, but I think it's fine. Let's just go with it.
Okay, let's roll with it.
Yeah.
Sorry, getting into present mode might take another 5 minutes. So the updates are for November, December, and we'll have guests and topics and continued outreach and of course buzz out. So we're getting super close to 10,000. I cannot wait till that actually happens, but we're at 9485 downloads. We have 91 episodes. Can you hear me?
You are going in and out. I think it might be better if you
Let me
just
take my
do the
camera off,
verbal.
maybe?
Yeah. If you haven't-
Let me see if I can get the camera off here. Let's just.
But again, you could, if you want to just give the verbal so we're not seeing anything, that's fine too. And then we'll share your slides after. You are on mute. I don't know if you knew that that happened.
Can
We
you
can't see
hear me now? Can you
we
hear
can
me
see
now?
the slide, but we're having trouble hearing you.
Can you, is it now?
We'll
Is it
try.
okay now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was good.
I'm so sorry. So it's National Family Care, and we had an incredible guest, Comptroller John Scanlon, who himself is amazing to interview. And we talked about why he had the discussion, caregivers and generation. Of course, was a guest talking about recent leave in the state. And Shauna talked about office and what it offers residents of Connecticut, like the MyCT Savings, the Array RX, which is a prescription savings card. We talked about mental health stigma and his support of Connecticut Leave and why it helped our state be a better place for families. And the outreach was that we had a dual press release with the comptroller's office, which was really phenomenal. We will be releasing a podcast with Samantha Alzate. She's the owner of Mindful Transformation LLC. She's a therapist and she therapists under her, and they work for her company. And she actually used Connecticut paid leave when her family expanded with her third child and in Connecticut. And we talked about the caregiver leave and the importance being related by affinity. And she sees the value and importance of Connecticut paid leave as a business owner because she offers these all business to the other therapists in her business. And she has written an op-ed piece about Connecticut paid leave. Jess Marshall, we'll see her highlighted in commercial. So let's see if we can get to December. We are going to have a really cool person on. Dr. Erin Nance. I found her because she wrote a book and was doing a book review and a signing in New York, and followed the bookstore. And she's a New York hand orthopedic surgeon. She's an influencer on social media. You can find TikTok at Little Misdiagnosed. She's founder of the Better platform, which is actually a social space where health information is accessible and human. And Dr. Nance is the author. Finally, her brother Kevin is in Connecticut, used get paid leave or bond leave. His story is pretty amazing. He dove into a pool and became a quadriplegic on her first day. Saying it's unstable.
So sad. Huh.
Nancy,
Uh,
maybe just take down the slides and then just talk because it's really hard to hear you.
It is hard to hear me. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
That's okay. Just take down the
Anyway,
slides.
she is his story is just amazing. Anyway, she has TikTok followers. She has 157,000 TikTok followers, over 180 million views, and our continued outreach is that she may help us expand our views with influences. Her. And the other guest in December will be she's a entrepreneur and founder of online hubs, agersconnect.com, and it gives people over the age of 50 services and resources if you're a solo ager. I didn't know what a solo ager was. They are described as a 50, no kids, not married, and no family around on a daily basis. They're aging even beds of Connecticut paid leave. So, in our continued outreach, we're going to work together to get the solo agers about the benefits of Connecticut leave. Like I last days, this was the big push so
Nancy,
far in the last
we've
90
lost
days.
you. We've really
Oh.
lost you. I think maybe what we could do is just share your slides with the committee, but it's either the slides aren't
I'm
showing, or your
sorry.
voice is working, or your voice isn't working. So I think we've got to just,
I'm so sorry.
no worries.
I'm
It's
sorry
gonna
about this. I really apologize.
not a problem, but I think it's probably best if we just share the slides.
Yes, sorry about that.
No worries.
Thank you for trying, Nancy, and we'll look forward to seeing the slide when it comes. We know a lot of
Okay, I'm
great
really
stuff
sorry
coming
about
up
that.
on podcast. Jessica,
Thanks.
did you want to try again on sharing?
Yeah, yes,
that?
I hopefully have everything pulled up the way it's supposed to be. So can you see my slide that it says Healing Hoofbeats of Connecticut on it?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great.
When people are really trying to work on their mental health, trying to access therapy, Connecticut Paid Leave is really important because they know that they have the ability to focus just on their mental health without worrying about not having the money to do so.
What I've seen when people utilize CT paid leave to address their mental health needs, that they are coming back more productive, happier, healthier, and just feeling a better sense of well-being.
So that is the ad that, excuse me, of course, focuses on mental health. Both of the women that you saw there were guests on Nancy's podcast, which is how we connected with them. So just as an example of that sort of extended outreach. And then the second one I'd like to play for you. I don't think I've shared this with you yet. This is from the employer perspective about paid leave, again, as something that strengthens the workforce and the workplace.
As a small business owner, Connecticut Paid Leave has really been a godsend. It really allows me to attract and retain really great employees.
Employees know that they can come work for a small business and have the safety net. It makes me feel good that they're going to be able to get the services that they need.
It lends to a lot of positivity with our staff and more willingness to become a part of our team because they know that they have this benefit if they need it.
So those are our two new videos. We're excited to get them out there. They've started already in the digital space. They'll also be starting with, NBC for our TV campaign. And we continue to just look for new ways to get that message out. Again, not neglecting the employers, right, who are still always going to be a really important audience to us. And also making sure that we focus on different aspects of how our program can be used. We still are, in some ways kind of battling that, oh, that's just for people having babies, which we love babies, and that's an important reason. But we want to focus on some of those other reasons, like mental health. And just as a side note, I was at a caregiver symposium last Friday in Hamden. And one of the conversations I had quite a number of times with the folks attending who were social workers, family caregivers, and professional caregivers was how Connecticut Paid Leave can be used for themselves, for their own mental health, to sort of try to combat that caregiver burnout that's unfortunately very common with that audience. So thank you for bearing with me while I kind of got my screens organized. I'm glad that I was able to share those with the group.
Thanks so much, Jessica. We love a positive small business voice. That is always highly appreciated. Any other questions or flags for Jessica? Thank you so much. Moving along to the next item in our agenda. We had marked down that we should discuss our meeting cadence about a year ago, I think. We decided to move from, we'd previously been meeting monthly to meeting every other month, because that felt more appropriate for the kind of work that this committee does and the time that it takes up. But we wanted to check in about whether continuing on the current pattern, which is meeting every other month. So in this case, that would mean after this meeting, we don't meet again until January. If that still seems right to board members, if folks think we should be meeting more frequently, if folks think we should be meeting less frequently, if this feels nice and Goldilocks about right. In the middle, but we wanted to take a moment to check in on that. So I want to open it up to board members. If folks have any thoughts on current frequency, so every other month, more frequent, so something like every meeting monthly, or trying to meet more frequently seems more appropriate to folks, or less frequently, I suppose, is an option. I see Adrienne.
Oh, no, I just, no, I think the every other month is is good. Before, again, I was out for a bit. So, everything seems good to me right now, but I had wondered before I was out what the impact would be if it was a committee that met quarterly. I don't necessarily feel that way right now because it's too short a period of, getting back in it. So I guess that I said all that to say at this moment, it seems like the every other month is fine.
Thank you, Adrian. And I should say, within the confines of following appropriate procedures for notifying the public about meetings happening, like the committee has the ability to adjust this whenever we feel is necessary. So while we are checking in after a year, we shouldn't feel like we're bound to, like, if in a couple of months we feel like we want to change the cadence, so long as we stick with appropriate protocol for notifying people, like we can change to quarterly, we can change to monthly down the line.
Thank you.
Other folks with thoughts or comments? I see Sheila.
I think every other month is sufficient. I think it seems to be we're able to do the job and, get the word out. So I'm happy with every other month.
Thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome.
I see Ava.
Agree with both Adrian and Sheila. We have a pretty set schedule. It never feels like we're rushing in the content of our updates in our meetings, and we haven't had a scenario where our meetings interfered with a board vote. So far, so good in the year.
Thank you, Ava. And I'll chime in. I agree. I feel like every other month is working well. I'll also say, I think when we were meeting monthly, we occasionally had meetings that felt a little thin. And I think going to every other month has let us have more effective and sort of meetings. I feel like a better use of folks' time, including a better use of the time of members of the public who want to join us. So I think sticking with the current cadence makes sense. My assumption is it feels like there's a consensus to stick with doing exactly what we're doing. So my assumption is we don't need a formal motion to continue doing exactly the same thing we're doing, but I should check in with Erin and folks on that.
Yes, we didn't think there would be a need for a formal motion or vote if we're just keeping on. This is just helpful for us as we plan for 2026.
Thank you, Erin. So without the need for a formal vote, the plan as of now is to stick with the current every other month cadence, which means that the next meeting of this group would be in January of 2026. And the committee will revisit at whatever point it feels appropriate to revisit that discussion. So moving on to item 5, we have an announcement to make, which is that after 5 years in chairing this committee since its founding, now that I am stepping up into the vice chair role for the board, I am stepping down as committee chair. I'm planning to stay on the committee, so you'll still see plenty of me. And as we know, I don't have trouble talking on meetings, even when I am not leading the meeting. But I am excited to get to hand over the virtual gavel to, I think, inaugural committee member, certainly longtime committee member, Ava Bermudez-Zimmerman, who I am super duper excited about taking over this role. So I will just say nice things about Ava for a while, but I want to turn it over to you in case you have anything you wanted to say, but we're excited to have you stepping into this role, which feels like a natural fit for all the work you've been doing on this committee for so long.
I have been on this committee, you and I, from the very beginning, and Adrian, I guess, yeah, we're inaugural members. First, I want to say congrats on the new role, and I think it's definitely well-deserved. Your voice in this committee and on the board is so vital. You are, my goodness, a fountain of knowledge, so we are very fortunate to have you in any capacity. I appreciate the nomination, and as many may know, I'm an organizer and an advocate. It is what I do, it's what I love, and I hope that folks are confident that me chairing makes sense, but I appreciate the consideration.
Thank you, Ava. And I'll say I can't think of a better person to take over this committee. I think it's a really natural fit for both the work you've already been doing on the board since the beginning and all of the skills and knowledge and relationships and perspectives you bring from the whole rest of your life and work. This is where I should ask, do we need to do a formal step on this, or are we just announcing that it's happening?
We're announcing it. The bylaws allow Fran as the chair to appoint the committee chair people. So she has made that. We just wanted to kind of have this opportunity to do it publicly and have an official changing of the guard to thank you for all of your service and express appreciation for that, and to thank you for staying on the committee, and to express how happy we are that Ava is going to officially take over the gavel.
What she said. I don't and congratulations, Molly, again. You're stepping up and Ava's stepping in. It makes perfect sense, and I think it's wonderful. So congratulations to you both.
Thank you, Adrian. I feel like the Outreach and Engagement Committee is still going strong and contributing to the board and the work of the authority. I believe it is the case that I continue chairing through the end of this meeting.
Yes.
For our very official remaining few steps. So at this point, is there any old business anyone would like to raise? Is there any new business anyone would like to raise? Okay, hearing none, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you,
Second.
Adrian. Thank you, Ava. Any discussion of the motion to adjourn? Hearing none, all in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
I hear 4 ayes, so I believe the ayes have it on the motion to adjourn. The motion carries. It is 9:38 a.m. and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see everyone in January.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah, happy
Yeah.
holidays.
True. Happy holidays. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.